There. Oh my God.
Hi, how are you?
Hello,
Nice
nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Nice to meet you. And we're excited to launch this live interview with you today.
Is this your first time doing a live stream here on TikTok?
It is,
Oh my
yes.
Correct. It is the first time, yes.
Okay. My name is Jenny, by the way. Like, how do I address you?
Habib and
Hannah.
Hala, sandali. Hold on. Jayun, I don't have any audio.
Let me see how can we use this.
كل شيء يمكن هذا فوق.
How about now?
Save and then save
Oh,
يمكن.
save.
Okay. Jayun, can you hear us? Kaming dalawa.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Miss Eileen. I can hear you guys. I can
Perfect.
see you. Let
Perfect.
me ask the viewers. Okay, yes. So they could hear us. Okay, so yeah, my name is Jenny and it's really nice to meet you. How do I address you?
Habib and
Hannah.
Huh? Hannah?
Hannah, yes.
Hannah, nice to meet you, Mr. Habib and Hannah.
likewise.
I would like to thank Miss Eileen, the mom of Jessa Saragossa, for introducing us.
Oh, hello. Hello, Eileen.
Hi,
Nice to
Eileen.
join.
Definitely here in the
Yeah.
comment section.
Hi Eileen, we miss you. How are you?
Okay, I guess we're gonna start.
Yes, let's do
Okay.
it.
Hi, my name is Jenny. This is my voice, Coin Catch Voice, and it's such an honor because our guest today is attorney Habib and Miss Hannah. Kindly
Nice to meet
introduce
you.
yourselves to us.
Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Nice
Nice to
meeting
meet
you.
everyone as well.
Okay. It's a fact that attorney Habib is an immigration lawyer. Is it okay if I ask you, like, what inspired you to have that, take that path, like, career-wise?
Of course, yeah. We do mainly two prongs of law. And, one is federal law, which is immigration. We serve people all 50 states and all over the world. The other prong we do, the other area of practice is employment and labor law, which is mainly in California, San Diego mainly, and some clients in other counties within the state of California only. So state law is labor employment law, and which will essentially deal with workers' rights in the workplace, making sure they get paid properly, working in an environment free of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, being paid on time, receiving their mandatory statutory rights under all the regulations, making sure the employer follows the law with, the way they're being hired, the way they're treated, the way they're getting promotions. And if there's any unlawful termination, that's when, we investigate to determine if there's a lawsuit to be filed or a claim to initiate. This is employment law. Immigration law is more like helping immigrants to come to this country legally through various means, whether it is via employment, investment, or family needs, basically. And we deal with different levels, all kinds of people in many very different backgrounds, socioeconomic status, people coming from high level of sophistication with extremely high level of credentials, outstanding awards, extraordinary ability, skills in art, cooking, sports, athletic, singing, math, science, to unskilled workers who just want to work in doing unskilled work. So all kinds of people, we assist them to get the green cards, and family is through family petitions, and investment is we deal with people from $100,000 investors to $1.8 million investors who want to get the green card legally. People who want to have, generally immigrants who have a business abroad, they want to branch out, have a sister business for the business in the States. They qualify to have a visa for that, or people who want to buy a brand new business, or people who want to buy or open very high scale business of 1.8 million. So all kinds of people, different socioeconomic status people and backgrounds that we assist, basically. That's what we do.
Before we actually proceed, I just want to let you guys know that they're actually located, correct me if I'm wrong, in Los Angeles, California, correct?
Oh, we're actually in San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. I
Yeah.
was thinking all this time that you are in Los Angeles. Okay. So they're actually in San Diego, California. Okay. So how long have you guys been offering these services to
Since,
people?
yes, I've been practicing law since 2010, December 2010. So
Oh, wow.
essentially 14 years. 14 years.
Okay. Of all the things that you mentioned, like what is your most common clients, the most cases that you get, like the clients that you guys get?
Basically in employment law or immigration.
Pretty much everything. Because the reason why I'm asking is because, like I said, when we first started, Miss Eileen introduced us to do this interview. She did do like a background story of like you guys actually received, or you do have a lot of Filipino clients when it comes to immigration. But I guess we could focus with the immigration part of it. Like, do you guys get a lot of Filipino clients?
We do. We're dealing lately more with Filipino, dual nationals who have U.S. citizens. They have, their baby was born abroad, so we assist them in a way legally how to obtain the U.S. citizenship for the child automatically since birth without having to go through the long, tedious sponsorship process. With that, we need
Thank you,
to,
Eileen.
with that we need to make sure that this person qualifies to pass on the U.S. citizenship, not the green card, the U.S. citizenship directly to the child. And honestly, this is the most of the cases we've been receiving from dual national Filipinos or general family immigration Filipinos who want to immigrate their loved one. Generally, this is what or Filipinos who have basically pending interviews with the U.S. Embassy in Manila, and there's suspicion of fraud by the embassy, and they want an attorney to help basically remove the suspicion so they can get the visa approved smoothly. So we deal with those cases as well.
Okay, so Miss Eileen mentioned to me that you offer like a pro bono service. Like, educate us. Like, how does that work? Like, say for example, with the immigration status, like green card situation.
Like we do offer
Free consultation.
consultations
Employment.
for employment law. We do offer free consultation to determine if there's a lawsuit to file, to see if there's a claim that to see if this potential litigant or claimant has a legal case to file. And of course, we give free assessment to determine if there's a case or not. For immigration, generally, every now and then we do maybe pro bono for asylum seekers who have low means. We work with other attorneys to help them either do briefs or we send someone to go and meet someone in detention. But generally, it's mostly the free consultations are for employment to determine if there's a case to be filed or not.
Okay, like with the immigration cases, like what's your guesstimate? Like, I'm sure you're getting a lot of clients. Like, what's your percentage of the cases that you won?
That I won. You want basically
Just guesstimate.
we know before we accept the case, we do like analysis to determine if this person qualifies and checks all the boxes. So technically, really, without bragging, all the cases they were approved because we do our homework ahead of time before we file the case, before we accept the case. We do the screening, the analysis, if there's any risks, how we can minimize them to make sure we have more than 80% chance of success. Once you hit that threshold, you have very high chance you're not going to be denied. Maybe the worst we got is delaying, request for more information, request for evidence, request for DNA testing, to request for evidence to demonstrate a genuine relationship between the two spouses or the fiance and her petitioner. But that's what we expected ahead of time. But in the end, if we do the work very well, you do the homework ahead of time, you will get those cases approved. Barring cases with 60 to 40-year age difference, for instance, in those cases you will know there's something not genuine there. You will just refuse those cases if you suspect fraud. Those will be denied, but we don't take them because we we like to keep our success track record, and we want to also file genuine cases.
Okay. You mentioned about the check boxes. Like, what are those major things that you're actually looking at?
Like for instance, basically, I had a consultation with a potential prospective client. She's basically there was a baby born abroad, and they basically put him under the name of a father who's not who's not her father, who's not his father, and then no, I don't want to say the country too. Who was born, and they put the name of the mother, and they just basically put the name of a father who has no who is not basically genetically related to the child, not the father. And then they called me for a consultation to see how they can immigrate the child. So obviously this is easy analysis. This is not your baby. At some point you will be requested to do DNA test. So in the case, so we're not eligible. This is an example. Another example, say someone wants to file for his nephew. You cannot file for the nephew. There is no eligibility category. Another, for instance, if you marry someone and this person you marry has a child, you can immigrate the child, your step son, your stepdaughter, but only if the marriage took place before the child was 18 years old. So there are certain things you need to do. You need to do analysis on to see if they qualify before you can basically, and we do that in the consultation process before you can file the case. Obviously, there are other things that we have. Those are clear, obviously, box checking analysis and other hidden little things to determine were you married before, how many times, were you legally divorced every time before you get married, when did you get married before the last time you get divorced, I mean, when did you get married after you get divorced, is it after you have a legally binding divorce before you get married, for instance, basically, are you married now and you're trying to marry again, how did you get your green card and now you want to give green card to somebody else, did you wait a certain amount of time before you can do that? So there are little things that experienced lawyers have to know before they can take the case. If they check all the boxes, next analysis will be, what you have to show your relationship is bona fide, and then we on the attorney to help basically bring the evidence to light to get the case successfully approved.
Okay. Obviously, there's the whole confidentiality aspect of it with what you're doing. But to the best of your knowledge, like you did mention about the child and the nephew, but do you have like a specific case? You don't have to be like, obviously not naming anybody, but do you have like a specific case that stuck with you? Like it was almost like challenging, like immigration cases wise?
Yeah, I had a case where somebody was trying to bring her husband, and there was a big age gap between each other, but it was really genuine. It was legitimate. Like I saw all the evidence, all the trips abroad. Anytime this U.S. citizen person had a vacation, they would go spend it in that country with her loved one. So I really believed in them because it was genuine. It was real, based on the ongoing communication before you even filed the case. Many attorneys rejected the case, and I wasn't really basically willing to take it until I, saw all the evidence, and eventually it was approved through the embassy, which is even harder. And a post that in a country where there's high level of fraud and they do a lot of investigation. That's why I was against taking the case. But when we sent all the overwhelming evidence to the consular officer, he was likewise convinced it was a genuine relationship, and they're happy, and it looks like it was at the end of the day the right choice that they made, and but that was challenging because there was a huge, big, very large age gap. Yet it was approved because we obviously had to do a lot more work on this type of case. Unlike other cases, you don't need to do. Some cases you don't have to go above and beyond, but some you have to. With those cases, the latter ones, you have to do, and you have to expect to face challenges in getting the case approved.
It's really amazing that you mentioned that kind of situation because, I mean, I'm obviously Filipino. My husband's Caucasian, and we did go through fiance visa. And for some reason, before people will even get to see how my husband looked like, they're already assuming that he's got to be like 50 or 60 years older than me. So with that particular situation, like with the huge age gap, what's the chances of their application being approved? Like, is it really high or like 50-50?
Uh,
It's actually less than 50-50.
yeah, it's very low,
It's
like
very
maybe
low.
10,
Very low.
15%.
Yeah.
Depending on the consular policy as well. Like if it's in Europe, I've had cases with considerably high age gap from Holland, but it wasn't a problem because it's in Europe, right? Other countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, China, Thailand, Middle East. There's
More challenging.
there are a lot
yeah.
of people online who meet their loved one overseas and they all get denied. At the interview
They assume
level.
fraud, like before
Yes,
you file the case, they assume, okay, well, they're
Presumption.
different culture, age gap, is this marriage real? So they investigate more into the case, and that will give us a harder time to get those cases approved. That's why before we take those cases, we make sure is the marriage real before we file any of them, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a small percentage, not even 50%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, especially this course is known for fraudulent applications. So they presume they create like a rebuttable presumption of fraud. You have to refute. You have to show otherwise. They're hard because there are a lot of people who do fake cases. Unfortunately, not attorneys. I mean, just people do them on their own, and they basically they don't stereotype, but they believe maybe this case is also will merit extra scrutiny, which is the right thing to do. But of course, that will lower the standard of, lower the chances of approval. A lot of times they will do the interview, they will not tell you yes or no. They will put it under admin processing for security and investigation, basically policy, background checks, and they could make you wait 1 to 2 years just waiting for them to tell you yes or no. They do a lot of delays, and on those cases they don't like to approve them, and if they don't want to deny it, they just put them on admin, just will put it on hold, admin, suspension. We'll let you know in 1 or 2 years what we think, and that could really hurt the relationship.
And it also depends on the attorney record. Like for us, we never had a denial case.
Correct.
So they look into that too,
Very important. Yeah.
It's a very important aspect too. Like when someone wants to hire an attorney, they need to read the reviews at clients. They have to really do their research before
Correct. Yeah.
go with any attorneys. Like some attorneys will say, okay, I'll take your case, and then good luck hearing from them. They have lots of, they focus more on quantities, not the quality. So you will hear a lot of complaint from clients. Oh, I paid, I never heard back. It's hard for the attorney to talk with. I don't get to talk with my attorney. I only talk with the paralegal or with the front desk. So this also is a big component. Like when a client looks for a lawyer, I do recommend they look at the reviews before they decide.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It's a very point. It's a really good point. Not only the reviews are a great way to filter who the person they want to basically hire. Also, the immigration have their own insider agenda on every attorney, and every attorney is notorious for filing fraudulent cases, bad cases with big age gap. They will flag the case.
Yep.
The attorney has a big role. If you have an attorney with some denial, that's fine. But but an attorney who have many cases on admin review, admin pause, suspicion of fraud, the lawyer is still practicing law, and they haven't found against him anything personally, but they're just flagging him. And if he takes any genuine case, they will give him a hard time in getting it approved because he's already flagged. An attorney, myself, or any other good attorney who have zero denial would have far more smoother processing than an attorney who have basically, it's okay to have denials, of course, but it's not okay to have reflect. So she's right, correct. I agree with her 100%. Views matter, and each basically immigration officer has their own agenda on every attorney who files cases. They know once they get the case with the attorney, they classify the case based on that. If it's going to be, you know, an easy, smooth filing, or they want to basically create some hurdles.
It actually makes me wonder because I'm sure I can't say that because probably I can only assume that most of the cases, when it comes to immigration cases, it's always the guy who's from here in the US and then the girl is from a different country. Is that accurate?
Correct. Or they're both here. The person is here, you know, illegally, or she's here through lawful means, student visa or tourist or an investor or employment-based visa, and they meet here, you know. So you're correct under, you know, it could be the first scenario where the person is overseas. It could be the other scenario where the person is already here under lawful non-immigrant means, so they need to, you know, take it to another level and obtain their permanent residency.
Okay, so before the interview started, we were exchanging text messages with, I believe, with Hannah, something about the employee.
Overtime cases, yes. This is actually a big issue here in San Diego.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so like a lot of our clients, basically, they are like caregivers, so they do work overtime. They don't get paid for their work, and they don't know that this is illegal. And some of them are actually afraid to, you know, talk with a lawyer or to like have any legal action because they think I'm undocumented. I may, you know, they may like deport me if I stand up and, you know, and say, hey, you know, I'm not getting paid overtime. If I like check with an attorney, so their employer will actually telling them, say, hey, if you go and talk with a lawyer, I'm gonna like call immigration on you. So we would like to educate those people that this is not the case here. You know, even regardless of your immigration status, you should be paid your wages.
Yeah.
Any overtime, any unpaid wages, you're entitled to ask for those, regardless of your immigration status. So like both immigration law and employment law is like connected, but we do take a lot of, especially when it comes to the Filipino clientele. Most of our clients are from the Philippines. Very, very nice women. Like they come here, they like work very hard, and then they don't get paid fairly. Yeah. So that's what we feel very, very sad, and we personally love to help those people because they're working so hard. They're you know, saving money and send it back to their family, to like send their kids to school, to, you know, get for their family, yes. And then you find an employer here that abuse them because, you know, they either don't speak the language or they're old or they don't know. This is America. Like, it's not Philippines, it's not third world country, it's not Middle East. In America, everyone has to be treated equally. You have to get paid fairly, regardless you have a paper or no.
Yeah. Okay. You're talking about that specific situation about being underpaid. Like, educate us. Like, what's the first step that this person should be doing? The undocumented individual.
So educate you on exactly what, I'm sorry, what's the exact...
about the whole being underpaid, like not being treated right at work, and they're undocumented. Yeah. Like, what would be the first steps?
Yes, you know...
The first steps, you mean, like, what should we do?
Yes, of course. When I receive a call from, you know, gentleman who is working in a home, first question I tell him, I ask him, what do you do? What's the percentage of the time you spend at home? You know, do you cooking, cleaning, or do you do more caretaking to a senior person? Because that will, you know, determine which overtime law rules will apply. If 80% of his time is spent on, at least 80% is spent on taking care of an elderly person or a person who has physical or mental limitations, then immediately he will be classified as a personal attendant. Under the law, personal attendants were not entitled to overtime until 2013. In 2014, the California legislature fixed this issue, and they basically came up with legislation called the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights. Under this bill, they mandated overtime to be paid to personal attendants working in a household, taking care of an elderly person, but instead of the standard requirement to be paid overtime over 8 hours, they made it over 9 hours and over 45 hours of work, which is time and a half, no double pay, no double time like other workers who work more than 12 hours, but they have to be paid time and a half for anything over 9 hours per day or 45 hours per week, meaning let's say this person has worked already 6 days a week, so it's basically 9 times 5 is 45. Even if you work 10, 12 hours per day, but it's anything over 45 regular hours, they have to be paid time and a half for those Saturday for the hours they do on the weekend. So the analysis is really not whether they have a case. It's more like how much are they owed. And to do this analysis, we asked them because we can only go back 4 years, backwards. If they would say in 2017, we can't go back anymore. We can go back only after 2020. We can't go back to 2019 because it's more than 4 years. So if they worked 4 years, we maybe file a lawsuit or basically send a demand letter of the issues are if they want to pay everything before we file the lawsuit. And once we do the calculation over the 4 years period, how much they're owed, how many hours they worked, we basically determine that based on how many hours they were working on the weekend, how many hours they're working every day. So the analysis would be not really if they have a case or not, whether if they have a case, it will be instead it will be how much are they owed, how much do they have to get paid to make them whole, plus interest, plus penalties, plus basically all the added on damages when penalties based on violation.
Any emotional stress.
Yeah, if there's any associated basically tort issues that happen in the workplace, and other avenues of recovery like emotional stress, there's slavery, there's imprisonment, false imprisonment. That could be more extreme. But the biggest cases are the ones who are given like a salary, and they don't care how many hours they work. This is all they get paid a salary, and they work sometimes 12 hours per day, 7 days a week, or 6 days a week. So this is basically will lead to serious compensation and damages against the employer in favor of the employee, because you can't just pay someone a salary. If you pay him a salary, it means this salary will only cover the regular hours. It will not cover anything over 9 hours. So then this basically will be, all the damages will flow from any hours over 9 hours. And if somebody is getting paid, say, $150,000 a year, that means their hourly rate is very high. That will make their overtime rate very, very high. So their damages could be noticed if they work 4 years, could be hundreds of thousands of dollars if they work many years.
Yeah.
Could be,
That's really awesome.
Could be many. I had someone they worked 24 hours. So anything after 9, so that means 15 hours overtime per day. She was making very high salary, so her overtime rate was very high. And her case, she didn't know she had added all this money. But she has to go to a good attorney to make sure she gets that. She'll receive all her unpaid wages.
That's really amazing that you're educating us about this. But in that particular situation, when you do win the case, like what happens to the employer? Do they get? I mean, apart from the individual getting the appropriate compensation that they were deprived from, what happens to the employer?
The employer, I mean, mean, wage theft is a crime in California, right? Under penal code, I think 485. If you basically, you know, do not, it's a grand theft. If you owe someone more than $900, it's basically like a misdemeanor. It's a crime. But it's hardly ever prosecuted, unfortunately. They don't prosecute them, right?
Yeah.
The state and the prosecutors are more worried about, different kind of cases, crimes of violence, abuse, murders. They don't really go after people. I mean, they can, but very rare that they prosecute unpaid. I mean, wage theft, basically, criminal cases. What we do is we do the civil aspect where we try to help them recover all their unpaid wages. Employees who have means to pay, they pay everything. Employees who don't have means to pay, we work with them on some sort of payment plan, or we offer a settlement. We offer it to the client to think about it. Basically, to see if we file a lawsuit, whether to file a bankruptcy, is this a good offer? It's up to the client in the end. We recommend our opinion. Basically, we share our opinion with them, and they decide if they want to accept it or not. But wealthy employers, we have no problems with them to get everything. I mean, generally, for the most part, they fight back on certain things, of course, but eventually, we managed to get them, all the wages back.
Ms. Anna did mention earlier that about the employer-employee situation is like the most common cases that you guys are handling. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's important because you did mention attorney has been that it seems like when it comes to the employer, the law doesn't really do anything much to apply make them pay for what they did for pretty much abusing their employees who are undocumented. And hopefully one day there's going to be some law that will be applied that will make these employers to be scared to even thinking of doing that. But coming from you, since you have been doing this for years, if there's something that you can change when it comes to that particular situation, what would you do different?
So it's kind of, the law actually does protect the employees and it stops from employers meaning like abusing their employees.
Yeah.
The problem here is that employees themselves are not educated enough. They don't know that this country protects them. They have rights in this country. So the key to that is to speak up, to ask, pick up the phone, look up, go on Google, say employment attorney, overtime attorney, read the reviews, and give the attorney a call. It won't cost them anything, they won't have to pay anything to start their cases, They're just the first consultation will be over the phone or in person. The attorney will assist their case and they will tell them, okay, you have a case, no, you don't have a case, and then the process will start right after. But the problem arises here when the employee, he or she, is afraid to speak up because they don't want to lose their job for instance, or
they don't
know the rights, or they don't know that even if they're undocumented, it's okay to talk with a lawyer about it. It's not. Don't be afraid. Basically, if your employer threatening you and telling you, "Hey, if you go talk to a lawyer, I'm gonna deport you." This is not the case, So our advice is really, speak up. Ask around. See, there's always ways and solution. If you're afraid to address an issue with your employer, when we do a settlement, when we do an agreement, it's all going to be confidential. It's not going to be public record. So if you go and apply for another job, no one's going to know about it. And you can put some certain words or a clause saying, this is private. We cannot discuss it with others. So because some people think that if I sue, everyone's gonna know about it. No, it's confidential unless now you file a lawsuit, it's a different issue. But a lot of our cases really settled before the lawsuit, because most clients don't want to sue. They want their money back. They want their right. They want to be treated equally, fairly. So we say, okay, we don't have to sue. We can just file the demand letter. It's confidential. It's not. No one can know about it except like you, us, and the employer and the attorney, as well as the opponent counsel. Now, when we file lawsuit, it's a different story. So a lot of our cases really get settled right away, like because employer, they know that it's something wrong, so they want to pay. Now, if they put as an attorney, that attorney knows this is a clear violation of law. You have to pay, so they advise them. So basically, I say if you one of those people, don't be afraid to speak up. It's bad that you're not getting paid fairly in this country. So that's
We're talking about the employment situation. Educate us. So when it comes to that situation, like how, like, okay, like say for example, you won the case. Do you stop there from assisting your client? I don't know really exactly how it works, but I did look at your content. There was this one content that you pinned on your page, I think. It's something about T visa.
Yes.
So like after, like you can have, like the individual can have like a 4-year residence, and after 3 years they can apply for residency. Talk about that.
Yeah, basically, there are two kinds of visas where potentially wage staff could turn into, a path to a green card. U visa and T visa, but those have to be extreme level of basically wage staff violations. Like there's slavery involved in servitude. They take your passport from you. You're forced to work, forced labor. You can't quit. You have no choice but to work. And this is the pay you're gonna take. You can't quit. You must work. Basically, this will be like potentially could raise the level of U visa foundation. U visa is mainly for crimes of violence, but they extended it to wage staff. But it has to be like extreme case of wage staff, not just simply someone who gets his paycheck, then it's something like a U visa now. So it has to be, some form of forced labor or involuntary servitude, basically, or slavery, abuse. Basically, someone cannot, you have to come to work. You have to work. Can't leave the house. You can't leave the facility. You have to work. Basically, this could lead to U visa. The other form is we're looking at is we get potential calls about is T visa, with the T, like trafficking. People who are brought from abroad by force, abuse, or fraud. There's two kinds of trafficking: sex trafficking, but there's also another form of trafficking not well known to people. It's called labor trafficking, where people like rich employers, they bring their maids from back home with them. They give them a visa. They tell them, "I'm gonna pay you $20 per hour." Unfortunately, they find out later on that they're getting paid some pesos only, Mexican currency, deposit in a discrete bank in Mexico, and they can't leave
Hold on. Did you say human trafficking?
Yeah, like in a way that not in a way that they put them in a container and bring them. No, but it is basically they help them apply for a visa to work for them at home, as a domestic employee, but they falsely promise them to be paid certain kind of wage, fraudulently. When they get the visa and come here, they are getting paid completely different form of pay. It's not they didn't bring them by force. They didn't kidnap them, but basically they used fraud to bring them from overseas. They
Misled them.
Misled them. They promised them to pay them certain amount of
Oh,
pay.
wait, hold on. I'm actually very interested with this. Does that qualify as human trafficking? Like when they are
Labor
like,
trafficking, you can call it labor.
Like a T visa. They can apply for a T visa because they were misled. They came from another country basically, and they were told, "We're gonna pay you $20 per hour, for instance. You will work only 7 hours per day." But in the end, when they came here, they realized they're working a lot longer hours. They're getting salary in pesos. They're getting, a lot less money than what they were promised. Uh, so those potentially could lead to T visa. They could be, prosecuted. The employers could be prosecuted. The state could be involved. If there was slavery, if they were not free to leave the house, if they took their passports. So we look at all that to determine basically if those other elements are there. But basically, this is what T visa is. Bring someone from overseas. You falsely promise them you're going to pay them this much. You come here and they are paying you a completely different wage. They're making you work 7 days a week. They're paying you, $6 per hour, and that's basically a form of labor trafficking. That could qualify to T visa if the other criteria is there, like they were not free to leave the house, or
Yeah.
it doesn't happen often. Of course, will be like a crime, uh, you know, you know. But you have to look into those issues to see if this person was, forced to work or not.
Okay, I actually want to ask you this, coming from a lawyer, what qualifies a situation to be considered part of human trafficking?
Human trafficking, I mean, labor trafficking, right? So when I talk about labor trafficking, this is an extreme, right? But if someone brings somebody from across the border by force, right? But this is very extreme, for that to happen. The most other common forms will be, you make a promise to pay him certain wage. You give him the visa, you help him with the paperwork, and then when they come here, they are, they get, they will tell him, forget about the contract you signed back home. This is only for the visa. You will get paid only 1,400 pesos a month. You're going to be working from 9 to 10 o'clock p.m., 6 days a week. You get 1 day off only. You can go to Mexico and come back. Give me your passport. And the other days you're with us. This is, potentially labor trafficking, but you need to see if there's more into it to qualify for a T visa.
Is that also like one of the things that you handle?
We do, yeah. But the first question we asked, are you free to leave the house? This is an important thing to know. If they're free to leave the house, then it's purely civil case. If they're not free to leave the house, then you can potentially, expand it to other, violations like that. And you can potentially use it as a foundation to get the non-immigrant status of T visa.
Wow. Like with such a short amount of time, like me myself, I learned so many things, but I don't want to take too much of your time because I know how valuable the time is of a lawyer. But I really want to ask this, like how does it feel like working together as a couple? Like what's the situation like at home, and then, like coming to work as, like you're working together?
It's great. It's great. We get along, very well at work. Like, the area, I work mostly with, like international clients, those who want to immigrant to the US. I like to address women who are being, excuse me, I'm under the weather. I like to address women who are mistreated by their husband who brought them here to the US, and then give them the green card and then start abusing them. And those poor women, like, they barely speak any English, they don't drive, they don't have any education, they cannot work here, they cannot go to school, they're like stuck at home. So they think I have to be, they want to survive, so they will accept the situation. So their husband give them the green card. So I like to speak about those particular women who been suffered from domestic abuse. You don't need your husband to get your green card. There's other ways about it. If you've been in an abusive marriage or abusive workplace, there's ways to get your green card. You do not need him. So I like to educate this, particularly this type of clientele. No, we do well. Yeah.
Okay, now.
Yes, definitely. I mean, exactly. We complete each other because,
Yeah.
she's
basically she has her way to connect with clients to
Yeah.
put them at ease, to make them comfortable, and and we both like implement our legal knowledge and experience. We work with psychologists as well, so who help people like with our clients to give them assess them to help their case also and make them even feel better. We have several great doctors we work with to basically that will help provide great reports to document their cases and to also give them means to have to get treatment and get better, and also support their immigration cases, from asylum seekers to abused women to even people who want to apply for naturalization, but they cannot take the required testing due to anxiety and depression and PTSD. We will work with psychologists to help basically get exempt from this test, from this exam. So it's basically teamwork. We can't do it alone. We have professionals to work with as well. But being an attorney makes it incumbent upon us to perform at the highest level to serve our community. And because we were immigrants ourselves, we went through the same thing, exactly what all immigrants are going through.
I
Thankfully,
know.
we were not abused, thankfully.
I mean, yeah, I got what you
But
said.
we know what they go. We know what they need to hear to
Especially
to
when,
help them.
especially
Yeah, 'cause
when
you
you're
can
in a
relate.
country.
You can relate to that, having that kind of relationship. But yeah, apart from the abuse part.
Yeah.
Of course, it's definitely we're not.
I mean, you can understand their culture too, like, where they're coming from. You can
Yeah.
feel their feeling, because you've been there,
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like you guys are like a one-stop shop kind of place. Now, if people want to reach out to you guys, like your law firm, like how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure. So I can leave our phone number. They can start with if it's employment issue, we can start with like a completely free consultation. We have our website too. They can go on it and see like the area of law we do. They can go on Google, read our reviews. A lot of our clients already come to us because of the reviews we have. We have combined 375 reviews on Google, like both immigration and employment. So most of our clients, they read those reviews and say, we want to come to you, or referrals, a lot of word of mouth. So yeah.
Okay, so what would they put on the Google search? Because you did mention earlier, foreign attorney with Hasbini Law Firm. Is that what they're gonna?
They put a lot of them. They put like top-rated, highly rated employment attorney or highly rated immigration attorney, and Google ranks them in the order of the highest, ranked reviews, from top to bottom. And
But to find us, like,
they like to see the reviews before they can call anyone in.
Yes.
to find like our law firm, just really easy. Just put the last name Hasbini, Hasbini law firm. So when you like this to Google, the reviews will show up right away, and then they will see the phone number, how to contact us.
Wow. Wow, this has been so educational. Like me myself, I got a lot of information from this. So thank you so much for giving me this time and this honor,
Thank you for having us.
guys. But
Thank
yeah,
you for having
you
us.
guys.
It's our honor as well to join you as well.
Oh yes, it's such an honor. You guys check out their TikTok page here. You can actually see it here. If you just tap their this side right here, you will be pointed directly to their TikTok page, and then it will pretty much go from there. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's such an honor. Eileen, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen, as well. Thank you for having us, and we're happy to do that another time as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the-
Thank you. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you.